upon a time, there was a husband and wife who loved each other very much. However, they had no child. Then one day, the wife was standing by the window looking at a garden in the distance. In the garden, she saw some bright green radish tops. She suddenly had an overwhelming desire to eat it. However, she knew that the garden belonged to a horrifying witch. Every day the wife would look at the radish greens and think about them. She became very feeble, looking as though she were on the verge of death. The husband loved his wife very much. He paid no regard to danger, but waited until it was dark and jumped into the witch's garden. He quickly pulled up some radishes and ran back home. His wife ate it all up and was instantly revived. However, the next day, the wife wanted to eat more. So the husband had to sneak into the garden again. He had just jumped down from the wall when the witch caught him. "How dare you try to steal my radishes?" the witch squealed. The husband replied, "Please let me go. If my wife doesn't eat some radishes, she will die." The witch responded, "As long as you agree to give me your child, then you can come and take radishes whenever you want." The husband thought it didn't matter because they didn't have a child. So he agreed. Later on, the wife actually did give birth to a baby girl. But no matter how much they begged, the witch still took their daughter away and gave her the name Rapunzel. Rapunzel began getting bigger and bigger. She became the most beautiful girl in the whole world. When Rapunzel turned 12, the witch took her to the middle of the forest and locked her in a tower. The tower had no stairs, nor did it have a door. There was only one window by which Rapunzel could look outside. When the witch wanted to enter, she would yell from below the tower, "Rapunzel, Rapunzel, let down your hair." When Rapunzel would hear the witch's voice, she would let down her long, long hair for the witch to climb up. One day, a prince walked by and heard a beautiful voice singing. He stopped to listen. It was Rapunzel singing. Her voice deeply moved him, so he would go to the forest every day to listen. One time, just as he was standing behind a tree, the witch came. He heard her yell toward the top of the tower, "Rapunzel, Rapunzel, let down your hair." Rapunzel immediately let her hair down and the witch climbed up. The prince thought, "I'm going to try as well." When it became evening, he also came to the bottom of the tower and yelled, "Rapunzel, Rapunzel, let down your hair." Long, golden blonde hair was let down out of the window, and the prince climbed up. Rapunzel was scared when she saw a handsome young man climb up into the tower. However, she was quickly moved by the prince's sincerity. From then on, the prince came to meet with Rapunzel every evening. The prince would tell her about the outside world, and Rapunzel would sing beautiful songs for him. They fell in love. Every time the prince came, Rapunzel would have him bring a piece of silk thread. She was going to use the silk thread to make a ladder so she could eventually escape from the tower. The witch would always come by day, and the prince by night. Then one day, Rapunzel said to the witch, "Why is it that you seem so much heavier than the prince?" "Ah, you naughty child!" the witch roared. With one hand, the witch grabbed hold of Rapunzel's hair. With the other, she grabbed a pair of scissors. She cut off all of Rapunzel's hair and threw Rapunzel into the wilderness to make her live there miserably. When evening came, the prince once again came to the tower and yelled, "Rapunzel, Rapunzel, quickly let down your long hair." The witch let down Rapunzel's hair that she had cut off. The prince crawled up, only to see the witch staring at him. She said, "Forget about seeing her again. I'm going to dig your eyes out. That will be the end of you and Rapunzel." The prince had no choice but to jump down, landing in the bushes. Both of his eyes were blinded by the thorns. The prince wandered painfully for many years before he finally came to the wilderness where Rapunzel was living. When the prince came near, Rapunzel instantly recognized him, hugged him, and began sobbing when her tears fell upon the prince's eyes. His sight was restored immediately. He brought Rapunzel back to his kingdom, and they lived happily ever after.